Young and restless next 2 weeks, May 19th to 30th. Nick gets in deeper and Sally's suspicious. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Young and the Restless 2-week spoilers for May 19th to 30th, 2025. See Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, is getting in deeper by the minute, and Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, is quite suspicious. Young and the Restless spoilers. Damien stays in Genoa City. Starting in week 1 on Monday, May 19th, we got Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, and Devin Hamilton, Brighton James, talking about Amanda Sinclair, Miss Hale Morgan, being the lawyer who's representing sketchy Aristotle Dumas. Things are looking good for Amy Lewis, Valerie Pettiford. Since Damien Kane, Jermaine Rivers, has decided to stay in Genoa City. He wants Amy to move in with him at the new place he's going to get on Young and the Restless. Devin remains unsure about where Damien's loyalties truly lie. But Lily is way more confident in Nate's brother, and she tells Damien that Devin's just being cautious. Lily formalizes the job offer for Damien to join them at Winters and tells him that he will be in charge of managing their hotels. Amanda tells Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, that no, Dumas will never fund a company for her and Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziade, and says she should just give it up. Phyllis tries to pitch to her anyway, but Amanda sees very clearly that Red has no clue, no plan. She's just pulling things out at random. Phyllis suspects that Dumas is after Chancellor and tells Amanda she would love to see Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, lose that company. YNR spoilers. Sally loses it all? Phyllis calls Summer Newman, Allison Lanier. She also phones Nick and says, "Yeah, I'd like to take you up on the offer to support me through this latest spiraling crisis." Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, also gets some FaceTime with Nick next week. He is getting in deeper with both ladies. Sally talks ideas for the Abbott Calm launch party, but Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, is lost in thought. Sally assumes he is stuck on Nick's guilt trip about firing Phyllis. Sally worries that Billy will give Phyllis that job back, and Sally will have tossed away her fashion career for nothing. But Billy, Jason Thompson, swears to Sally that won't happen. And Billy run into Amanda, and she reveals to them that she is Dumas' lawyer. Billy still wants that in-person meeting with the guy, and Amanda says she'll try to make it happen after she goes. Sally says she thinks Amanda is hiding something. Genoa City intrigue. Kyle Abbott interrogation, Claire's party plans, and Victoria Newman's big move. Tuesday, May 20th, we've got Holden Novak, Nathan Owens giving Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, the third degree about Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, and their time together. Will Kyle tell him, "We were not in love. We were not even in a relationship. It was a glorified booty call situation. And then it fell apart?" Holden is giving off a creepy vibe these days on Young and the Restless. Meanwhile, Claire brings an idea to Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, but he's skeptical. Claire's idea is probably about the party that she wants to throw for Nikki, but she wants to somehow leverage this event into accepting Kyle, which seems completely unlikely. Victoria makes a big move regarding things between her and Cole. We still don't know what's wrong with him. They stuck him at the GCAC to convalesce, so he didn't infect anybody else. That's the last time we saw Cole. This decision Victoria is making could mean bad news for him. Abbott family dynamics, Michael Baldwin and Lauren Fenmore struggles, and Nikki Newman's romantic surprise. On Wednesday, May 21st, we've got Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, trying to make Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, feel more of an Abbott. Billy's reaction to the mansion remodel stung her. Diane feels bad about that. She's hoping the other Abbotts don't hate her changes, and she's still just feeling like an outsider. Michael tries to take Lauren's mind off their problems, Victor, who is the sole source of their problems, but it may not be so easy to do. Nikki is absolutely overjoyed when Victor surprises her with a romantic evening to kick off her birthday festivities, but he's not done. Her birthday is not even until early June. Tensions rise. Audra Charles versus Kyle Abbott, Damien Kane's new path, and Abby Newman's unease. On Thursday, May 22nd, Audra has to defend her actions, and she's going to be in a tense situation with Kyle over at Society. I wonder if he suspects that she is again working with Victor and targeting him. Will he call her out on Young and the Restless? She's been making these cryptic threats. It's really weird. Damien gets a tempting offer and accepts it. Lily may ask Damien to be her date to Nikki's birthday party. Or maybe Lily wants him to join her if she gets to meet Dumas in person since Damien never has. If Dumas is who I think he is, that could be pretty awkward since Lily kind of likes Damien. Abby is really irked at Amanda's arrival in town. Obviously, the return of Devon's ex is an unpleasant reminder of Abby's very bad behavior back when she was with Devon when he was with Amanda. So, Abby may worry that Amanda is in town after revenge. I think Abby is considering herself way more important than she is because Amanda is there for Dumas. She reassures Abby that no, Dumas is not after Winters. Week 1 finale, Kyle's worries, Victor's warning, and marital strife. Friday, May 23rd, we're going to wrap up week 1 with Diane worrying about Kyle's judgment. He's so focused on Victor not accepting him and things being up in the air with Claire because of this and the veiled threats from Audra. All this may have Kyle just not thinking clearly and not making good decisions. Victor gives Michael a harsh warning. One of those do what I say or else things. Lauren is worried about her marriage. She may feel that Michael LeBlanc keeps choosing Victor over her. Claire tells Kyle she's against his plan to trap Audra. Claire doesn't want Kyle to have anything to do with Audra no matter what on Young and the Restless. Week 2 preview. Dumas' arrival, risky business, and exciting returns. Going into the week of May 26th through the 30th, look for more of Carter, Vincent Stalba, who is Dumas' assistant. Carter and Amanda will be fronting for the mysterious Dumas, who arrives in town soon, if he is not already around town and lurking unseen. Michael and Lauren hit a rough patch. Michael is trying to convince her everything's okay, but as long as he's neck deep with Victor, it's not going to happen. Kyle is heading down an increasingly risky path, and he just needs to ignore Victor and do right by Claire. Dumas will be revealed at last very soon. It may be for Nikki's birthday bash. Billy Flynn may be recast as Kane Ashby. Kane will probably want Lily back. He debuts soon. Claire's party planning kicks into high gear. She keeps on thinking this is some way to get Victor's approval of her and Kyle. We're going to see Jai Rodriguez from Queer Eye for the straight guy guest starring as party planner Pietro. He appears in 4 episodes starting on May 28th. Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, and Christine Williams, Laura Lee Bell, are back in early June likely and the Restless next 2 weeks. Spoilers for May 19th through May 30th reveal that Nick Newman will find himself pulled into a mess he thought he could avoid, while Sally Spector's sharp instincts make her increasingly suspicious of what is really going on in Genoa City, and how much of it circles back to the Newman family. Nick has always struggled when it comes to family loyalty versus following his own moral compass, but during these weeks the tension grows heavier, and his decision to step further into situations involving Victor and Adam may push him past the point of no return. Sally, meanwhile, has learned the hard way that trusting the wrong person can destroy both her career and her personal life, so she is more alert than ever, sensing that she is not getting the full truth from Nick and Adam and possibly even from Sharon. These suspicions could pave the way for explosive confrontations and tough choices that shift everything. Nick's path begins when Victor once again manipulates him into playing peacemaker or protector. This time Victor may frame it as a way to save Adam from self-destruction, but Nick knows better. Every time Victor interferes there is a hidden agenda, and yet Nick still finds himself wading into Adam's orbit. The more time Nick spends trying to manage Adam, the more friction builds in his relationship with Sharon. Sharon's natural empathy for Adam has long been a sore spot, and Nick could grow resentful when she encourages him to show compassion instead of suspicion. Sharon doesn't see Adam as competition for her heart anymore, but Nick's insecurities might paint a different picture. Meanwhile, Adam is unpredictable, bouncing between trying to prove himself to Victor and spiraling when he feels dismissed, and Nick may get caught cleaning up the messes before they explode. Sally enters the storm with her usual mix of determination and caution, but her gut tells her something is off. She knows Adam better than most, and she can tell when he is hiding pain or secrets. She also senses that Nick is not telling her everything, whether it is about his feelings for Sharon or about the Newman family games, and this sets off alarm bells for Sally. Her instinct to protect herself clashes with her lingering affection for Adam and her genuine connection with Nick, which makes her feel cornered. Spoilers suggest that Sally may start digging into situations on her own, possibly overhearing conversations or pressing Nick for answers. This could expose truths she isn't ready to face and may push her to make choices about which Newman brother she truly belongs with. While these relationship complications unfold, Victor and Nikki's positions grow increasingly complicated. Nikki may start to suspect that Victor's solutions for their children are making things worse, not better, and her attempts to rein him in could backfire. Victor thrives on control, and the more Nikki questions him, the more ruthless he becomes in protecting his narrative. Jack Abbott could easily get pulled into this, as Nikki may confide in him, seeking clarity and stability. If Victor gets wind of Nikki leaning on Jack, his reaction could set off a renewed round of hostility between the Newmans and the Abbotts. Elsewhere, Devin Hamilton and Lily Winters face mounting pressure as Amanda Sinclair continues to push her agenda with Dumas Industries. Amanda's return has already stirred up old feelings and lingering questions for Devin, but in these weeks the business rivalry heats up. Jill Abbott may weigh in heavily, perhaps even questioning Amanda's motives. Devin is stuck between his loyalty to family and his unresolved bond with Amanda, and this dilemma could fracture the smooth surface at Chancellor Winters. Lily may see Amanda as a genuine threat to both her leadership and Devin's stability, which puts her in the middle of both personal and professional storms. Back with Nick, his problems escalate when Sally's suspicions drive a wedge into their fragile bond. Nick is a man who hates lies, but finds himself in a position where telling the full truth could destroy what little peace he has left. Sally's determination to uncover what he is hiding may create a dangerous spiral where both she and Adam feel betrayed. Adam could lash out seeing Sally question him while still clinging to Nick for reassurance, and Nick could end up being the one isolated in the end. The irony of trying to help Adam and protect his family is that Nick may lose both Sally and Sharon in the process. As May closes, the cliffhangers build. What secret will Sally uncover that changes everything for her relationships with both Nick and Adam? Will Nick's loyalty to his father drag him deeper into family chaos that threatens to destroy his peace once and for all? Will Victor's meddling blow up so badly that even Nikki cannot defend him? And will Devin's inability to fully sever ties with Amanda cost him dearly at Chancellor Winters? The next 2 weeks promise heated confrontations, emotional turmoil, and the kind of tangled drama that leaves Genoa City on edge with every new day. Fans should prepare for Sally to confront truths that make her question everything, Nick to face deeper battles than he expected, and the Newman-Abbott wars to reignite in surprising ways. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next set of episodes continue to highlight the chaos circling Genoa City as Adam Newman spirals further into dangerous territory and Sally Spectra edges closer to uncovering the truth that could shift the power dynamics of the Newman family forever. Adam has always walked a tightrope between redemption and ruin, but the cracks are widening fast as he struggles to prove his worth to Victor, while also trying to mend broken bonds with Sally. His desperation may lead to reckless choices, including betrayals that hit closer to home than anyone expects. As Adam unravels, Sally finds herself at the center of an emotional storm. She wants to protect her future, but her instincts tell her that Adam is hiding something major. His erratic behavior leaves her suspicious, and when Nick continues to dodge her questions, she starts connecting dots on her own. Sally is no stranger to manipulation, but this time the stakes are higher because it isn't just about her career or reputation. It's about her heart. Sally's determination to dig deeper could expose Victor's carefully orchestrated scheme to pit his sons against each other, and if she finds proof, it could change how Nick views his father forever. Meanwhile, Victor continues playing puppet master, but his grip may be slipping while he thrives on controlling every aspect of his children's lives. Cracks in the plan emerge. Nikki grows more vocal about the damage Victor is causing, and when she turns to Jack for guidance, Victor sees it as a betrayal. Jack doesn't shy away from taking advantage of Victor's vulnerability, which sets up another explosive round of Newman versus Abbott conflict. Nikki is caught in the middle, torn between protecting her children's happiness and standing by Victor as his ruthless games spiral out of control. Elsewhere, Sharon is drawn deeper into Nick and Adam's drama. Whether she wants to be or not, her natural instinct to comfort Adam fuels Nick's insecurities and complicates their fragile connection. Sharon is fighting her own battles, but finds herself forced to play referee between the Newman brothers. Her closeness to Adam could spark jealousy in Sally, who already doubts Nick's honesty. This tangled web of emotions may erupt when Sally finally demands to know where Nick's heart truly lies. Devin Hamilton faces a storm of his own as Amanda Sinclair continues to push her influence into Chancellor Winters. Amanda's presence stirs up old feelings and creates rifts between Devin and Lily. Jill Abbott may intervene, raising concerns about Devin's judgment and Lily's leadership with family and business colliding. The future of Chancellor Winters hangs in the balance. Amanda may prove she has her own long game in mind, and Devin could find himself questioning whether he can truly trust her. The coming weeks promise major turning points. Adam's downward spiral is expected to lead to a critical breaking point, one that forces Victor to confront the limits of his control. Sally's discovery could shine a light on secrets the Newmans desperately want hidden. Nick will have to choose between loyalty to his father and protecting Sally from the fallout. Sharon's involvement with Adam could spark fresh rivalries, while Nikki's alliance with Jack adds fuel to the Newman-Abbott fire. And at Chancellor Winters, family loyalty will be tested like never before. By the time May closes, Genoa City will be rattled by betrayals, confrontations, and unexpected alliances, leaving every major player questioning who they can trust and how far they are willing to go to protect the people they love and the power they crave. Sally's growing suspicions finally reach a boiling point as the tension in Genoa City shifts from subtle whispers to full-blown confrontations. She has tried to give both Adam and Nick the benefit of the doubt, but the secrecy surrounding them only fuels her fears. Sally is a fighter who refuses to be kept in the dark, and in the next episodes, her sharp instincts lead her to corner both men, demanding answers once and for all. This isn't just about a love triangle, it's about her future, her stability, and her right to honesty in a city where deceit rules every boardroom and bedroom. The confrontation begins when Sally notices inconsistencies in Adam's words compared to Nick's behavior. Adam has always had a habit of being cryptic, but Sally picks up on the fact that Nick is hiding something too. She refuses to accept vague reassurances or promises without proof, so she storms into a meeting between the brothers, demanding to know what is really going on. Adam tries to deflect, but Nick's silence speaks volumes. The air crackles with tension as Sally makes it clear she will no longer tolerate half-truths or manipulation. Nick struggles under the weight of her accusations because deep down he knows she is right. He has withheld information out of fear that the truth would push her away, but his attempts to protect her may have done more damage than good. Sally's fiery spirit shines as she calls him out for his lack of trust and for allowing Victor to influence their relationship. Nick's guilt mixes with frustration because he is torn between his love for Sally and his duty to his family. Adam, meanwhile, seizes the chance to paint himself as the more honest choice, but his desperation shows, and Sally sees through his attempt to manipulate the situation. The fallout from this explosive encounter leaves all three reeling. Sally storms out, refusing to be pulled any deeper into Newman chaos. Nick is left questioning whether he has just lost her for good, while Adam vows to fight harder than ever to win her back. But Sally's independence makes it clear she won't be an easy prize. She wants stability, honesty, and loyalty. Three things neither Newman brother has been able to give her consistently in the past. This confrontation sets the stage for broader consequences in Genoa City. Sally's demand for truth doesn't just affect her love life. It threatens to expose Victor's manipulations. If she digs deep enough, she could uncover the strategic power plays that have kept the Newman brothers at odds for years. Victor may underestimate her determination, but Sally's drive could blow holes in his carefully crafted empire. Nikki, watching from the sidelines, may secretly root for Sally to succeed as she has grown weary of Victor's endless games. Outside of the Newman drama, Sharon finds herself drawn closer to the fallout than she expected. Her connection with Adam becomes harder to ignore as she provides him with comfort after Sally's harsh words. Sharon insists she is only helping a troubled man, but others in town begin to whisper that she may be rekindling old flames. This rumor alone is enough to ignite further jealousy from Sally, who is already questioning everyone's motives. Nick too finds himself bristling at Sharon's closeness to his brother, intensifying the love triangle into something far messier than before. Meanwhile, Jack Abbott continues to observe the Newman implosion from his vantage point as an enemy who knows that chaos in their camp often benefits the Abbotts. Jack may see Sally's independence as an opportunity to recruit her skills and shift alliances away from the Newman orbit. Jack has always respected strong-willed women, and Sally's refusal to bow to Victor's games may impress him to the point where business opportunities start blending with personal support. Victor will not take kindly to Jack meddling, and this could reignite one of the most legendary rivalries in soap history. By the time the dust settles, Sally's decision to stand up for herself not only shifts the balance between Nick and Adam but also puts her in the center of Victor's radar. She is no longer just a love interest. She's a potential threat to Newman power and influence, and in Genoa City, that means her next moves could either make her unstoppable or put a massive target on her back. The young and the restless spoilers intensify as Victor Newman becomes increasingly aware that Sally Spectra's bold defiance is more than just a personal affront. It's a strategic threat to his control over both Adam and Nick and, by extension, the entire Newman empire. Victor is used to bending people to his will, using charm, intimidation, or manipulation to get exactly what he wants, but Sally's refusal to be controlled or misled marks a rare challenge to his authority in Genoa City. Victor begins calculating his response carefully. His first instinct is to remind Nick and Adam why they must stay in line, subtly leveraging guilt and family loyalty to keep them tethered to his schemes. He knows that if he can sway them back under his influence, Sally's interference may become irrelevant. However, Victor also recognizes that Sally's sharp intelligence, persistence, and growing influence over his sons could destabilize his empire if left unchecked. She's not merely emotional, she's a thinker, a strategist, and she asks the right questions that force secrets into the light. Victor decides on a multi-pronged approach. On the emotional side, he subtly manipulates Adam and Nick to doubt Sally's intentions. He reminds Adam that Sally has history with Nick, sowing seeds of jealousy and suspicion, while cautioning Nick that Sally's curiosity may cross professional boundaries or reveal sensitive Newman secrets. Victor's aim is to fracture the unity between Sally and the brothers, making her feel isolated and less powerful. At the same time, he begins quietly planting misinformation in Genoa City's rumor mill, using his network to make it appear that Sally might have personal motives beyond honesty, suggesting that her questions could endanger family and business alike. Sally is not blind to Victor's maneuvers. She notices inconsistencies in Nick and Adam's behavior after conversations with Victor and begins piecing together that someone is working behind the scenes. This heightens her suspicion, leading her to investigate the Newman family's inner workings more closely. Every meeting, every private conversation between the brothers, every subtle glance from Victor becomes a potential clue. Sally's instincts sharpen, her resolve strengthens, and fans can expect her to take bold actions that may directly confront Victor, a man who is rarely challenged and even more rarely defeated. The tension escalates further as Nikki Newman starts observing Victor's manipulations. She becomes increasingly uneasy about the emotional strain on Adam and Nick and questions whether Victor's schemes are crossing ethical lines. Nikki's involvement could shift the balance significantly. She has influence over Victor's children and moral authority that even Victor respects. Nikki may begin quietly strategizing, seeking ways to counter Victor's plans without igniting his wrath, which adds another layer of intrigue to the power dynamics in Genoa City. As the weeks progress, the domino effect of Victor's scheming against Sally begins to ripple across both personal and corporate arenas. Adam's loyalty and emotional stability are tested, Nick's judgment and relationship with Sally strain under pressure, and the Newman family's carefully maintained dominance faces disruption. Sally, meanwhile, grows increasingly aware of her role as a disruptive force and must navigate carefully if she hopes to protect herself, maintain credibility with the brothers, and potentially expose Victor's manipulations. By the end of this storyline, Genoa City is poised for high-stakes confrontations, emotional reckonings, and dramatic twists. Sally's defiance is not merely a subplot. It is the catalyst that could reshape loyalties, expose secrets, and test the limits of Victor Newman's control. Fans should prepare for explosive showdowns where every character's true intentions are questioned, alliances are tested, and power struggles reach new heights. The Young and the Restless spoilers continue as Sally Spectra takes her defiance to the next level, determined to gather concrete proof of Victor Newman's manipulations and to protect both herself and the Newman brothers from further deception. Sally's investigative instincts kick into overdrive as she begins piecing together patterns in Victor's behavior, scrutinizing his meetings, subtle instructions, and interactions with Adam and Nick. She is relentless, knowing that uncovering the truth could change everything, but also aware that taking on Victor Newman is dangerous. He doesn't tolerate opposition lightly. Sally begins by documenting inconsistencies in Adam and Nick's stories, cross-referencing them with Victor's subtle directives. She listens carefully to overheard conversations, monitors corporate communications, and notes every suspicious move that could indicate Victor is orchestrating outcomes behind the scenes. Fans can expect to see Sally methodically exposing the cracks in Victor's carefully constructed control while simultaneously balancing her emotional connections to both Adam and Nick. Her discovery process is not just professional but deeply personal. She knows that what she uncovers could either save or further fracture the bonds she has with the brothers. As Sally digs deeper, both Adam and Nick feel the pressure of her scrutiny. Adam's downward spiral intensifies as he struggles with guilt, frustration, and his ongoing desire for Victor's approval. The closer Sally gets to the truth, the more Adam fears exposure, realizing that his father's schemes and his own mistakes could be revealed to someone who might not forgive or forget. Meanwhile, Nick is caught between defending his father, managing his own relationship with Sally, and trying to shield Adam from the consequences of both. The tension mounts as he begins to question whether Victor's manipulation has gone too far, leaving him torn between loyalty, love, and moral responsibility. Sally's growing evidence begins to reveal a complex web of deceit orchestrated by Victor, subtle manipulation, emotional coercion, and carefully placed misinformation designed to pit the brothers against each other. The fallout from her discoveries threatens to disrupt the fragile balance in the Newman household and could have cascading effects on the family's business empire. Nikki's influence becomes increasingly important at this stage. She notices the emotional toll on her sons and may confront Victor privately, challenging his methods and demanding accountability. This confrontation adds a new layer of tension, as Victor is unaccustomed to being questioned by those close to him, and Nikki's involvement could either diffuse the situation or escalate it further. Meanwhile, Sally faces her own emotional challenges. Her bond with Adam and Nick is tested as she struggles to remain neutral while pursuing the truth. She must navigate delicate conversations, interpret hidden meanings, and manage her own feelings for both brothers. Each revelation she uncovers adds weight to her decisions and increases the stakes. If she missteps, she could alienate the very people she is trying to help, or worse, make herself a target of Victor's wrath. By the end of this intense 2-week arc, Sally's discoveries have begun to shift the power dynamics in Genoa City. Adam is forced to confront the consequences of his actions and the depth of Victor's control. Nick must decide where his loyalties truly lie, and Sally solidifies her role as a central figure capable of challenging one of Genoa City's most formidable forces. Viewers can expect emotional confrontations, shocking revelations, and dramatic twists that set the stage for major upheavals in both the personal and professional lives of Genoa City's key players. The Young and the Restless spoilers heat up as Victor Newman becomes aware that Sally Spectra is dangerously close to exposing the full extent of his manipulations, triggering a calculated and ruthless response that threatens to engulf both Adam and Nick in chaos. Victor has always thrived on control, and the realization that someone outside his inner circle is unraveling his schemes ignites a new level of intensity in his actions. His first move is strategic. He subtly pressures Adam and Nick, reminding them, through carefully chosen words and calculated situations, of the consequences of stepping out of line, aiming to destabilize their resolve and reassert his dominance over the brothers. Victor also begins a behind-the-scenes campaign to undermine Sally's credibility, planting doubt among Genoa City's key players. He may leverage corporate allies, whispers among employees, and even family members like Nikki, creating a web of misinformation designed to isolate Sally. Every interaction becomes a potential trap, and Victor is meticulous in covering his tracks, knowing that one slip could turn Genoa City against him if Sally succeeds. Victor's manipulation intensifies, not just emotionally but also strategically, as he anticipates her every move and preempts her attempts to gather evidence. Already spiraling under the weight of guilt and fear, begins to fracture further. Sally's persistence forces him to confront both his father's manipulation and his own missteps, creating volatile emotional responses that complicate his decisions. Nick, meanwhile, is caught between protecting his brother, shielding Sally from potential danger, and navigating the moral dilemma of whether to defy his father outright. His frustration mounts as he realizes that every attempt to mitigate the situation is only partially effective, leaving him increasingly isolated and vulnerable to Victor's subtle control. Sally, despite the mounting pressure, refuses to back down. Her determination to uncover the truth about Victor's schemes demonstrates her intelligence, courage, and moral fortitude. She uses every resource at her disposal: corporate documents, personal observations, and subtle questioning of Adam and Nick, to piece together a picture of Victor's manipulations that is undeniable. However, she must tread carefully. One misstep could not only endanger her relationships with the Newman brothers, but also expose her to Victor's wrath. Her growing awareness of the stakes underscores her evolution from a cautious observer into a proactive agent of change in Genoa City. The tension escalates when Nikki notices the strain on Adam and Nick and begins confronting Victor directly. Her moral authority and maternal influence introduce a new variable Victor cannot easily manipulate without risking family conflict. Nikki's questions may provoke defensive responses from Victor, further complicating the emotional and power dynamics within the Newman household. At the same time, Adam and Nick must navigate their own fears, loyalties, and ambitions while Sally presses forward, creating an intricate web of personal and professional stakes that keeps viewers on edge. By the end of this arc, Victor's control is under unprecedented threat. Sally's discoveries and persistence challenge the very foundations of his authority, forcing him to adapt, manipulate, and escalate his tactics. Adam is pushed to confront his own vulnerabilities and decisions. Nick faces intense moral and emotional dilemmas, and Sally emerges as a central figure capable of reshaping the power dynamics of Genoa City. Fans can expect explosive confrontations, unexpected alliances, and dramatic consequences that will redefine relationships and business alliances alike, setting the stage for a high-stakes showdown with lasting implications for all major players in the city. The Young and the Restless spoilers take a dramatic turn as Sally Spectre reaches the breaking point and decides to confront Victor Newman directly, setting the stage for one of the most explosive moments Genoa City has seen in recent weeks. Sally, armed with her meticulously gathered evidence of Victor's manipulations, storms into a tense face-to-face confrontation with the patriarch. Her confidence is tempered by the knowledge that Victor is ruthless, cunning, and always 3 steps ahead, but she knows this is the moment to expose the truth and assert her independence, not just for herself but for Adam, Nick, and the stability of the Newman family. Victor's reaction is immediate and calculating. He masks initial surprise with controlled composure, attempting to downplay Sally's findings as misunderstandings or coincidences, but the tension in the room is palpable. He quickly pivots, trying to appeal to loyalty, suggesting that Sally is overstepping, meddling in family matters, and risking relationships that cannot be repaired. Victor's charm and intimidation clash directly with Sally's unwavering determination. She refuses to be swayed by flattery or threats. The confrontation escalates as Sally methodically presents her evidence, highlighting specific instances where Victor has manipulated Adam and Nick against each other, showing how he has influenced decisions at both personal and corporate levels to consolidate power. Meanwhile, Adam and Nick are drawn into the fallout almost immediately. Adam, already on edge from his downward spiral, reacts with panic and anger, fearing exposure and the potential loss of any remaining autonomy from his father's influence. Nick is torn between defending Adam, protecting Sally, and confronting the undeniable reality of Victor's manipulations. Tensions between the brothers reach a boiling point, with both questioning each other's motives and loyalties as Sally's confrontation lays bare every hidden agenda and secret scheme. The emotional stakes are sky high as Nick struggles to reconcile his loyalty to family with his growing respect and trust in Sally, while Adam wrestles with guilt, fear, and pride. Nikki, watching from the sidelines, seizes the opportunity to intervene. Her maternal authority and moral clarity put Victor in a rare defensive position, challenging his actions and questioning whether his manipulations are truly in the family's best interest. Nikki's presence amplifies the pressure on Victor, forcing him to navigate not just Sally's exposure, but also his wife's scrutiny and moral judgment. This layered confrontation showcases the intersecting dynamics of power, love, and loyalty that define Genoa City's complex relationships. The fallout from this showdown reverberates across multiple fronts. Victor's control is shaken. Adam faces the real possibility of independence, but also the consequences of past mistakes, and Nick's relationship with Sally evolves as trust and transparency replace secrets and half-truths. Sally's assertiveness transforms her from a peripheral figure into a central player capable of influencing the Newman family's fate. Viewers can expect subsequent episodes to explore shifting alliances, new rivalries, and the emotional repercussions of exposing the patriarch's manipulations, creating a high-stakes landscape where no relationship is guaranteed and every decision carries dramatic weight. By the end of this arc, Genoa City is left in a state of suspense and upheaval. Sally has proven she cannot be underestimated. Victor is forced to adapt to threats he cannot control with his usual tactics, and both Adam and Nick must confront the consequences of their father's schemes and their own choices. Nikki's influence adds a moral dimension to the conflict, setting the stage for future confrontations that will challenge loyalties, test relationships, and redefine the balance of power in Genoa City.